People 90.3 FM for the front page review. This is the time to look at what is happening in our country by taking a peep at some of our national dailies this morning. My name is Nyamgul Agaji. Nyamgul Agaji, and I'm welcoming you to this very wonderful Monday morning. Okay, we'll begin by just telling you what the headlines are this morning, and after that, we'll be joining Rufai Oseni, who will be giving us his own thoughts about the headlines for today. And then we'll have Dr. Anosike join us also to x-ray some of these headlines this morning. But of course, the most important voice we're waiting for is your voice. You lend your voice to the discussions around the country this morning as well. Once again, good morning and welcome. Let's begin right away with the Punch newspaper, which leads with the story. Kwara ex-lawmaker disagree as suspected bandits allege state sponsorship. Tinubu's inclusive governance makes Biafra agitations unnecessary. That's according to Umahi. Bayelsa PDP backs Diri's autopsy order on late deputy governor. PDP governor aspirant demands transparency in Lagos budget. Governor's wife restates commitment to elderly care. Lagos begins installation of 22,000 solar street lights. ICPC recovers 37.4 billion naira, $2.35 million in 2025. I wonder what all this money will be used for if we're still borrowing up to $17 trillion. Okay, 2027 coalition begins nationwide mobilization for Tinubu. Ex-principal emerges ADP's Oshun governorship candidate, and Serap demands enforcement of judgment in 6 trillion naira NDDC project funds. Africa seeks compensation for UK colonial crimes, and CSO laments poor access to direct funding. Those were headlines from the Punch newspaper. There's more if you grab a copy for yourself. On Daily Trust, BOI, that's Bank of Industry headquarters, moved to Eco Atlantic, draws security. Draws scrutiny rather, not security. BOI headquarters moves to Eco Atlantic, draws scrutiny. Okay, pushback as Tinubu's ADC becomes Brigadier General. We can't afford to marry Sokoto. Sokoto residents lament over soaring rent. So, everything is being affected. Family is being affected by whatever is happening in our country. You can't take a girl out because your salary cannot cover one seat out. You can't marry because you're thinking about your rent. You can't do anything for yourself. So not only are we suffering, it's destroying the very fabrics that make family and society what it should be. Insecurity. Kano governor sets up task force to secure motor parks. Others. Now, that is National Open University of Nigeria partners British Council to close gap among women. Commission introduces performance system to boost efficiency. Yobe Emir urges government to employ teachers. Woman, 8-month-old baby killed in Lagos auto crash. That's unfortunate. May they rest in peace. We'll move from there to Vanguard newspaper. Allegations of a terrorist. 2 former governors fueling insecurity. Remember, a terrorist confessed that this insecurity is state-sponsored. And the other story we saw on the Punch newspaper told us that an ex-lawmaker and some other people in government are disagreeing over this claim by the terrorist that was captured. Seized a C-130 aircraft, 11 soldiers yet to be released in Burkina Faso. That's according to the federal government. Alleged Christian genocide, U.S. Nigeria close to finalizing strategic framework on insecurity. Riley Moore. I wish they would tell us what the agreement is. What are they promising America? What is America asking for this kind of help that they want to come and help us? I'm not sure America will just come and help us without anything in return. So what is it? What is the agreement that they are signing? We've been asking for agreements that were entered into when they were having collaborations with China and all that. We've not been told till today. So I wonder what the agreement will be between Nigeria and the U.S. for the supposed help that they're coming to render to us for the Christian genocide or any other problem of insecurity. Other headlines are pound to naira exchange rate for today. I hope that you can also check that out and see how our naira is doing. Top auto brands regulators gear up for 2025 Nigeria Auto Awards. POS terminals, CBN gives 1 month deadline for dual connectivity. Fire raises 48 shops in Lagos market. Nigeria's trade balance rises 43% to 19.3 billion naira in 9 months. Dollar to naira exchange of this one of 135.4 kilometer rail project. The nation shows strength at NMMA wins 7 honors. Congratulations to the nation. Ruling House rights Sanwo-Olu over vacant Oloja stool. And then Dangote locks horns with MMDPRA. Okay, those are the stories on the Nation newspaper. What we have so many other stories on all these newspapers we've read to you. Punch newspaper, the Daily Trust newspaper, the Vanguard newspaper, the Sun newspaper, Daily Post newspaper, the Guardian, and the Nation newspaper. Grab a copy for yourself or go to the internet and find out what is happening, what their front pages are saying. Before we open the lines for you to talk, or before we get joined by Dr. Anosike, would like to join Rufai for his own analysis of the headlines today.
There's some stories making the round and some report that's just coming in as regards the Nigerian soldiers that are away in Burkina Faso that the Burkina Faso authorities have arrested. In fact, what they are complaining is that there's been no interaction, major interaction with the Nigerian government. They say they have just been kept in a room like that. No interaction, no follow-up has been done. And all efforts to get them out still remains in limbo. They reached out to their family members, but yesterday, some of their family members contacted us that they cannot, hear from them again. So we'd like to beg the Nigerian government to be able to do something about the plight of these soldiers. Please and please and please.
Right, a couple of more stories making the rounds. President Tinubu was saying that there's no Christian genocide in Nigeria. I mean, anyway, what do you expect President Tinubu to say? He will say there's no Christian genocide because, he's the leader of the nation. But truth has to be told, there's a level of genocide going on. Christian genocide is going on. In fact, the fact-finding team by the Americans, you can see the report they released when they go back to America. Representative member Riley Moore. There will be so many more fact-finding team. And you see, what we fail to realize is the Americans have all of this data. Most of the evangelical missions in the church were started by American missionaries. And their parent churches are in America. And you see, they have a very strong network base out of America. So there is nothing that is going here as regards persecution and killing of Christians that they do not know about. Most of the churches you see, indigenous churches of the North, have their, outreach bases in America. And they definitely have more data on ground than you can ever think or imagine. So it's not by saying, there's no genocide of some sort and everything. You see, all of this one, they're just fulfilling our righteousness. It's over the years they have gotten the data. They know what's going on ground. But the most important point is how can we stop it? That's just it. Because you see, if people keep dying and we can't stop it, then it beholds on us. It shows that we are not doing something right as a people and as a generation. So how can we stop the killing? It's not even today that the killing started. It's been there for a bit. And we need to look at these matters critically. Secondly, there's an article that's talking about the fact that more funds, more pains. Poverty still rises as FG and states gets double allocation in 4 years. You know why poverty is still rising? Because of inflation. You see, despite the fact that the federal government went to reduce the weighted average of food on the inflation baskets, it doesn't change the order of things. Yes, inflation might be coming a headline inflation wise, but there's still a lot of pain in the lives of people. There's still a lot of poverty in the lives of people. And it's a very sad one that is going on in the lives of people. And like I was saying before, I got a message, out of some of the relatives of people that their husbands or their family members are held in Burkina Faso. They are calling on the government to please ensure that their family members and their loved ones are released. And that's a clarion call we should all look at. State of affairs, even if you give me 1 billion to join politics, I won't, Oyedepo. Because yes, Oyedepo is smart. He knows. He knows that the politicking and the process that goes into it can be a very, very critical one. And it's a very, very terrible one. It's something that is very grueling. A lot of concessions have to be made and all of that. 16 years after Christmas Day suicide bombing attempt, Nigerian officials tell the story. If you remember the Abdul Muttalab story, that's 2009. It's been 16 years since that incident. The Christmas Day bomber that almost detonated before he was stopped on the plane in America. So at a recent event hosted by Sapto Communications, Director General of NCA Harold Demore, who recounted the incident, explained how Nigeria protected its reputation. He says, during our time, Nigeria was on the country of interest watch list due to the Abdul Muttalab incident. But we removed Nigeria's name from the list. The way to do such is by being honest. The facts are there. And he told the story of what really transpired that period. That's a very sad period. I'm sure for a lot of young people now, they might not remember that period, but it is indeed something not very easy on the eye. But the good thing about that incident was that his father had communicated with the Americans that he saw radicalization tendencies in his son. So while that happened, it was easier to piece together. Kanu bans new Hizbah group once against parallel policing after Ganduje remarks. So there's a story of new Hizbah group turning out in Kanu and parallel policing, the politicization of religious police, independent Hizbah Fisibelai declaring his activities illegal. That's the name of the group. And he signed an executive order to proscribe the group. Bandits use special technology to evade tracking. That's what Bosun Tijani is saying. The question is, can't we have better technology more than the bandits to be able to track them all the same? So, if he's saying that bandits use a special kind of technology to make calls and evade surveillance, can't we get things that can also crack their calls? And we should be able to do that. He said that the criminals bounce calls off multiple towers to throw up security agents tracking their communications. But if he's saying this, how did the journalists track the phone conversation between two bandit groups, and they revealed to them that Shekau had been killed? So we should learn to do better. We should learn to introspect better. That's just it. CBN gives POS standard provider 1 month to connect system to NIPS, UPSL. We are concerned Obi and Atiku not working together ahead of 2027. In fact, this story was actually as a result of a question I asked Bolaji Abdullahi when I said that the biggest threat to democracy in 2027 is the fact that Obi and Atiku might not work together. And he says, yes, it is a conundrum, it's a challenge. But he pretty much talked about the borders of things that when they get around to that challenge, they'll cross it and they'll make their decisions. That's going to be the biggest threat to democracy. That you cannot have a formidable opposition. Obi Atiku might split and go their separate ways. And when that happens, it will even make it increasingly easier for the emergence of President Tinubu if care is not taken. FG temporarily opens 47-kilometer stretch of Lagos-Calabar Coastal Highway. King Charles is sharing the good news about cancer recovery, saying treatment will be reduced. Anti-coup protest breaks out in Guinea-Bissau. So as regards the Guinea-Bissau thing, hundreds of Guinea-Bissau Guineans marched through Bissau, the country, to protest last month's military coup. The protesters clashed with security forces, calling for the release of Domingo Pereira, head of the African Party for the Independence of Guinea and Cape Verde, who was reportedly detained during the coup. Military officers had announced a coup. So the President Umano Mbalo and Ferdinando Diaz, his main opponents, have both declared victory. The junta installed Hoti Intna, a major general, as interim leader. But citizens are protesting against this. I mean, this is good to see. At least it shows that in the case of Guinea-Bissau, like Jonathan said, it was an RNG coup. And this must not stand. A couple of some stories being reported on this day today is about the victory for GHL, General Hydrocarbon, against AMCON in the court, where General Hydrocarbon did beat AMCON in the court as regards the receivership issue. AMCON has tried to take receivership over General Hydrocarbon, but GHL did beat AMCON in court. So court revoked order placing GHL under receivership. That's a story making the round. In fact, it was two celebrations. Justice Olutayo Aluko Federal High Court in Lagos revoked the preliminary order which placed General Hydrocarbon and its assets under receivership. It nullified the order while ruling on notice of the preliminary objection filed by the chairman of GHL, challenging the jurisdiction of the court to entertain the suit. Akumi had filed the suit seeking to give effect to the receivership over GHL and its assets. The judge agreed with the Bana's objection that the suit was an abuse of court process. That's some stories making the rounds. So there are many other stories making the rounds. Now we have seen it pan out politically. The same political game is now panning out in Osun as we speak.
In fact, they said they elected their third party factional governorship candidate in the other day in an accord party primary. All of this because of the Lake president. Maybe those factions will need settlement or something. Because that's how the political game is being played. See how that pans out. Probably all of that. There's also a video making the round where a Delo Tuji was talking about how he met, Matawali when he was governor then, to be able to talk about peace and all of that. You see, and all of this feeds into the narrative that even the incumbent governor had made very stark accusations against, Matawali. And that's why a lot of people are calling and saying, hey, Matawali, you cannot be the deputy first minister. And at the same time, we're talking about banditry in the country. And you were quite chummy with them. And Matao Ali has been saying that no, it's got nothing to do with him, that everything he does, in fact, I think that's this one because everything he does was in the interest of peace. Everything he did that time was in the interest of peace. But we see how all of this pan out in the coming days because these conversations are going on and they are quite loud and they are quite in everybody's face. The story of Asaba will be retold by Edgar. See, that's one part of our country we don't tell, and one part of our nation we don't tell the story enough. The Asaba massacre during the Civil War, where Nigerians that are already surrendered to the might of the Nigerian state were murdered in cold blood. We must never forget history like that. And what better way to remember is in play. Edgar, Duke of Fremont production has been doing this for over 10 years. In fact, I've been interviewing Edgar and promoting his plays over 10 years in this Lagos. He's going to be telling the story of how Nigerians were massacred. And that's what I see. They keep calling for stakeholders, political stakeholders, national stakeholders in the nation, that they must make atonement for what happened during the Biafra War. I mean, these are the conversations we need to have for the country to get better. They must make atonement. You see, we can't keep living in pain of all of these things. And people are still being marginalized here and there. We must have a country that makes atonement. That says we hear you, we see you, and we want to make atonement for all that transpired during that period. It's a very bleak period in our lives. It's a war that shouldn't have even happened in the first place. So please, it's the play that December period. If you just check Duke of Fremont production, you'll see the time to be showing. You'll be able to register to get your that. And it's just like how I promoted when my very good friend Chimamanda did write the book Rap of the Yellow Sun. He told the story. Look at the African struggle that takes to another epoch. As stories, that part and parcel of our lives. I never, ever forget that.
Okay, that was Rufai Oseni telling us what he feels about the headlines of today. We sincerely apologize for the poor audio at the end of that audio clip. We are glad to be joined by our guest in the studio, Dr. Peter Anosike, who will be giving us his own part of the story, as it is, his own thoughts about the headlines of today. Good morning and welcome to the show, Doctor.
Good morning and thank you for having me.
Okay, there's so many stories here. I don't even know where to start from, but let's begin from one of the... I'd like you to keep it short and simple, this one. Tinubu's inclusive governance makes Biafra agitations unnecessary. Do you agree to that?
What kind of inclusive government, why Southeast as a whole has just one substantial minister in the person of Dave Omahi, and Ogun State have 4 substantial ministers? So what type of inclusiveness are we talking about? Tinubu's government is government of the Yorubas, by the Yorubas, and for the Yorubas.
So if the Southeast is agitating for Biafra, for instance, is it because they have not been given ministerial appointments, or there are some other things that they are being deprived of that are placed more important than just appointments?
Our problem is not appointment. Our appointment is not ministers, it's not senators, but one, reconciliation, for them to accept that we are part of the country. That's the most important thing. Understand? Live and let live. That's what we are not asking for, any preferential treatment. Let them accept us as Nigerians. Up to today, Nigeria has not accepted Igbos as Nigerians.
Yeah, but I don't know what kind of acceptance they will want.
You may not know because you are not feeling it, but I know it. That's why I'm feeling it.
Yes, that's why I'd like you to.
Nigeria has not accepted Igbos as part of the country.
In what way?
In all ramifications. Now there are laws for the Igbos and the laws that's for other parts of the country. Understand? You somebody from the west, from the north can say something. DSS will look the other way. But if an Igbo man say that thing, it becomes a criminal offense. Understand me? So now check federal presence in all the geopolitical zones in the country. So the truth is that at the end of the Civil War, Gowon, even though he has realized now that that war was a mistake. Understand? He has realized now that that war was not supposed to have been fought. But at the end of that war, he made the three declarations, which he called the three R's. Yeah. Reconciliation, rehabilitation, and reconciliation. Up to today, none of that has happened in Nigeria. The reconciliation has not happened. So Igbos are yet to be reconciled to Nigeria. Igbos are yet to be reconciled to Nigeria. Why did Abacha and Babangida overthrew Shehu Shagari in 1983? Because they don't want the next Ekweme to become president. Understand me? That is the only reason.
Is that not theory?
They said it with their own mouth.
Okay, now, before we move up to other things, if this reconciliation were to happen, what would be your recommendations? What are the items that would be on the table to discuss to show the Igbos that this reconciliation is a serious thing and Nigeria is taking it seriously? What are those items?
Simple as say, live and let live. Understand? Let there be no discrimination. Understand? And that's what we are facing in this country. We are being discriminated everywhere in the country because they have not really accepted us as Nigerians. That's why I have said it over and over that I'm an Igbo man that come to Nigeria to hustle. Understand? Because I have not been really accepted as a part of Nigeria. If you want, I can give you that's practical experiences, not that they say. Understand me?
Interesting. I hope that we get to a point where this discussion will not even be on the table again. Everybody will just regard themselves as Nigerians, and then we can move forward as one united entity.
Simple. We don't let them begin to treat Igbos as they are treating other Nigerians, period. Let them begin to treat Igbos as they are treating other Nigerians. Because they are treating us as strangers in Nigeria. And when you go back to history, because I have done that research, Igbos were here before any other people in this country. Igbos were here, we are in this geographical space called Nigeria before any other part of the country. So just like a tenant coming to chase away the landlord, that's exactly what is happening in this country. I have done that research.
Okay. Well, matters like this will I'm sure the discussion will continue, and this whether the marginalization is real or perceived.
Not perceived, it is real.
And they know it is real or perceived. I think
they know it is real.
The consensus is that we need to give it a discussion. We need to give it time to discuss it, and if it is real, proffer solutions. If it is perceived, then find out where the perception is coming from.
Excuse me. Constitution said that a minimum of 36 ministers from the 36 states. Understand me? Southeast has 5 states. We have only one substantial minister. Others are ministers of state. Do you understand me? All others are ministers of state. The only substantial minister, the only senior minister we have in the South is Dave Omahi. Others are just junior ministers. Ogun State here has 4 senior ministers. What name would you give to that?
Okay, so anyway, the next thing I'd like you to talk about is Atiku, Mark, Obi, George, others alleged plot to kill opposition. They are alleging that the present administration is making every effort to make sure the opposition dies. Do you agree?
Well, for me, that is politics. Understand me? That is it's a contest. You don't allow your opponent to become strong. So as Tinubu is trying to kill the oppositions, those in the opposition should also trying to cause confusion in APC. Understand? Try to cause crisis in APC. Understand? So as Tinubu is weakening them, they should also be trying to weaken APC. This not they are not running for Young Men's Christian Association. This is politics, and politics is not what you go with a Bible in your left hand. It is not a moral game. It is a dirty game, and you must play it that way.
Okay, so that means the ball is in the court of the opposition. They should not blame anybody.
They shouldn't at all. There are people that are not happy in APC. They should use them to cause crisis in APC.
Okay, now there is a story. Maybe we look at the one in Kwara. Kwara and ex-lawmaker disagree as suspected bandits allege state sponsorship. That same story or a related one is allegations of a terrorist, 2 former governors fueling insecurity. So a terrorist has come out to say that there are some people, state actors, that are sponsoring terrorism, and some state actors are saying that it is not true. So where do we even stand? How do we fight terrorism when we do not even believe in the root of this terrorism?
Well, anyway, I'm not speaking my mind, understand? I don't believe that states are sponsoring terrorism, but I can affirm that I can accuse the states of negligence and inaction.
The accusation was not on the state sponsoring it, but people in government sponsoring it. So there are 2 things. It's not the state sponsoring it, but the people who are sponsoring it are in government. So how do we deal with that?
Well, that is very, very possible because they know what they can gain by that. Understand me? They know the advantages that they can get by that. And that's what they used against Jonathan in 2015. Understand? Worsen insecurity to make his government look weak and bad. And that was what happened in the North, understand, in 2015. So I know that some individuals have hand in this insecurity in the country, but I don't want to believe that it's been state sponsored. So this is my line of thought.
Yeah, I'm not sure anybody has accused a particular state. They are just actors within the system that are sponsoring it. For instance, there have been series of allegations against even the Minister of State for Defense, and he's still in government, and nothing is being done about it. So it gives the idea that the government is complicit. The government is having a hand in it in some way.
That's why I say negligence and inaction. What Tinubu would have done is to suspend the Minister of State, because the allegations are heavy, and they are not coming from the oppositions. They are coming from those who have been with him. Understand me? Because the current governor of Zamfara was his deputy when he was the governor of Zamfara State. And he has accused the Matawende of sponsoring terror. The SSSA that talked about, that spoke last week and was showing evidences, was talking about what he himself was asked to do, what Matawale told him to do, not that he heard. Understand me? So the allegations are heavy. What Tinubu should have done is to suspend him until he clears his name. Understand? If retaining him there means that one, the government don't even are complicit. Let me use that word.
Okay. Alleged Christian genocide, U.S., Nigeria close to finalizing strategic framework on insecurity. Like I said earlier, when I read this out to the people, my worry is that in all the agreements that Nigeria has been signing with other countries, whether economic or otherwise, now it's security, we've never seen the provisions of this agreement. So what are some of the things that you are expecting in this framework? The framework will also have how America can operate in Nigeria. They would also have what America expects to have in Nigeria and all that. So if you were given the opportunity to look at this document, what are some of the things that you would like to see in it?
Number one, disarming of the headers.
Okay.
Understand? Disarming. No non-state actor should be allowed to be carrying assault rifles up and down.
But that is covered by the Constitution. Why are they carrying arms and Nigeria is not saying anything? Do we need America to come and tell them to not carry arms?
We are talking about enforcement. It's in the Constitution, but it is not being enforced.
So America should enforce it for us.
America should enforce it for us. Then this grazing thing, understand? We should stop headers from carrying their cows up and down. Understand? Because this is what is causing farmers' headers conflict. Farms don't move. Farms are stationary. So anywhere you see a farmer fighting with a header, know that the header is wrong. Understand? Remember the issue of Sunday Jackson in Taraba State.
Yeah.
Understand me? So these headers should stop carrying their cows up and down. They should build ranches for them. I mean, those people, those owners of those cows should build ranches, not government building ranches. Because cattle is a private business. It's not a national business.
Yeah, but so is Hajj and Christian pilgrimage, and government is spending billions that we do not have on these things, ventures that should be private things.
It's stupidity. It's stupidity. Understand me? Cows is not it's not crude oil. It is a private business. So the cow owner should build ranches for their cows. Understand me? Because for me, if I'm a farmer and somebody carry his own business to come and destroy my own business, I will put up a fight.
But from all that is happening, do you think these ranches, building of these ranches, whether it is by the private individuals or the government, do you think it is safe for every community, or do you think the communities will accept it, granted the kind of things that are happening in these communities?
They should buy land and build.
For instance, the headers are coming to your village right now and saying, "Give us a portion of land."
No, not give.
Yeah, give us to buy. They will buy and then build the ranch there.
If the villagers agree that to sell to them, which means they want headers around them. Understand me? It means that they want headers around them. But in my own area, we don't have land even to give to headers. Understand me? So any village, any community that gives them, understand, is their own business.
Okay.
Because if I want to build a shop now, I'll ask for a land and build and buy, isn't it? So if they want to ranches, they have to go and buy too. Understand? There's no free land for anybody. Cattle is a private business. So there's no difference between people in Anaba and cattle rearers. All of them are businessmen.
Businessmen. Okay, but well, anyway, let's move to the aircraft and the 11 people in Burkina Faso. The federal government has said that the soldiers are yet to be released, and even the C-130 aircraft is yet to be released as well in Burkina Faso. So what does that tell you?
For me, that AI is causing a lot of issues, understand? I was watching a video purported to be from Captain Ibrahim Traore yesterday, talking about that he has released them after some investigations. So I don't know whether it is AI or Traore himself speaking.
Well, this is federal government saying they are yet to be released, which means that one was AI.
Okay.
Because I've seen a lot of them as well created by AI. Some actually said it was AI. Some didn't say that. Maybe from people who just copied and pasted.
Okay, so for me, because of weak, corrupt leaders in West Africa, understand, ECOWAS is no more one. Understand? And these three people, Niger, Burkina Faso, and Mali, had formed an alliance. Understand? And they are seeing France as their enemy. Do you understand that?
And Nigeria is at table with France as well.
So that is why what is happening is happening. Understand me? That is why what is happening is happening, because I wonder why Tinubu decided to be fraternizing with France. No other leader had done it in this country. Understand? And I know that French government don't like Nigeria government. If you go to Paris, there's a department for the study of Nigeria. Understand? So France has never want unity in Nigeria. They want Nigeria that to break into pieces. So they want Ivory Coast to be leading in West Africa instead of Nigeria. So it's shock to me that Tinubu decided to be fraternizing with the French government. Understand me? So that is why this thing happened.
But even if we were not fraternizing, as you put it, with the French government, what was our plane doing in Burkina Faso? Because if it wasn't going to Portugal, because there's no evidence to prove that it was going to Portugal, and it went there immediately after fueling the coup in Benin Republic and all that, we don't seem to have the full picture of what really happened.
Well, this government doesn't tell us the truth. Mind you, the first information we got from government was that they have been released. And that was the first government, that there's just a diplomatic thing, everything has been sorted out. And the 11 soldiers have been released. Now, after 6 days, they're now saying that they have not been released. And the issue is this: when you keep people in suspense, they will begin to manufacture rumors. So assuming that our government is open to us, tell us things the way it is, all these rumors, all this speculation would not have been there. Understand? So for me, you cannot go and begin that to fight Burkina Faso. The only thing is to find a diplomatic way of getting those people out. Understand? Because the idea of going to Portugal for repairs doesn't happen. For more than 15 years, we have been repairing our jets in the country. Understand? And if you are going to Portugal, the Portuguese government should be aware. But there's no such information. Understand? And I feel that they have not been able to explain why they were in Ouagadougou.
Okay, so on education, Nigerian government bans admission, transfer, into SS3 class. They say it is because it is fueling malpractice, examination malpractice and all. So once you get to SS3, wherever you are, you have to stay there and write your examination. There's no admission into SS3 class. And I was wondering, what if there is some situation that will warrant you leaving a particular place where your child is studying and going to another place and all that? Did they consider that? Do you think it's a good policy? Do you think it's something that can help us fight examination malpractice?
Well, is it for federal schools?
SS3.
Both public and private?
Public and private, yes.
Well, they always say what they know is practically impossible. Understand? Because they don't even have a full grasp of the school. If you want to stop malpractice, start from the grassroots. Understand? Start from the grassroots. Go to the basics. Go to the primary. Because somebody who has been committing malpractice up to SS2, you cannot stop it again. Understand? So they should go back to the root. Nigerians will know how to bring out the bills, bring out policies, but we cannot implement. So for me, it's not going to stand.
But they want to fight malpractice, and you are saying they should go back to the primary school. In primary school, does this happen? This malpractice, does it happen? If they go to primary school, what will they do that will make the students become better and not have to cheat in exams?
Bible says, teach a child the way he will go, and when he grow up, he will not depart from it. Understand? It is easier to train a child than to amend an adult. So whatever you want to do concerning children, you have to start from the basics, from the primary. You cannot amend an adult. Understand? And somebody in SS3, it should be about between 15, 16. 2 years, he will be an adult. So if you don't correct that person from the childhood, it will become difficult. And again, those of them that are making this laws are even carrying forged certificates.
Matter for another day. Okay, let's just pause here and hear what we can do. Governance is what we are concerned about. 2027 is fast approaching. In fact, even though it's illegal, the campaigns have started and all that. So we want to hear from, let's get some excerpts from your book about how governance became, how did you even put it, the title of your book again?
No, excuse me, it's not really indigo. Constitution said 15 months, understand, to the election. So this is December, understand me. Election should be in February. So by now, right now, election can legally start.
Yeah, but it didn't start now. The campaigns didn't start now, even though they were not called campaigns, but they didn't start now. Whatever they were doing.
No, I said officially it can start now.
Okay.
Officially it can start. So my book, Abuse of Power, understand, talk about that. The title is Abuse of Power: How Democracy Turned into Tyranny of the Few. Because ordinarily, democracy is defined as government of the people, by the people, and for the people. But everywhere, what we are seeing, not just in Nigeria, everywhere, is just the government of the few, by the few, and for the few. Understand? And I can hardly point at any country, even in Africa, that is practicing democracy as we speak. None. No country in Africa is practicing democracy. Understand? That's if they did not understand what democracy is all about. So if you can see what happened there in Tanzania, understand, where a woman was putting members of his opposition in prison, killing some, just so that there will be no strong opponent, and she claimed to have won 98% of the votes. Understand me? It's only in the 80s that people were winning above 90%, because whatever I do, I research. It's only in the 80s that people are winning with above 90%. Understand? Since post-COVID, any incumbent that retained power manipulated the process. Understand? Since post-COVID, any incumbent that retained power manipulated the process. Go and check. So, because that's what is known as incumbency bias, people are now tired of seeing the same face in the office. Understand? People are now tired of continuation of the same thing. So my book is about how to make democracy work. How to make democracy work, and it started from those how democracy was fought in Nigeria from 1984 to 1999.
Okay, let's just pause there and pay some. Continue with this discussion, and then we'll also open the lines for people who might want to talk to us.
As a nation builder, the last month of the year is a special month of spiritual reunion, divine upliftment, divine protection, and all-round fruitfulness. We invite you to 2025 Annual Convention. Theme: All kings will bow before him, and all nations will serve him. Psalm chapter 72, verse 11. Ministering: His Eminence, the Most Reverend Dr. Daniel Oko, the General Superintendent, Christ Holy Church International, and the President, Christian Association of Nigeria. Date: Wednesday, 17th December 2025. Time: 10 a.m. Venue: Christ Holy Church International Campground, near B Division, along Asibabini Expressway, Asaba, Delta State, Nigeria. Come. Let us celebrate the victory of our Lord Jesus Christ, powered by Christ Holy Church International, also known as the Nation Builders. Odozi Obodo.
Customer, welcome. What do you want buy?
I want buy changeover. Cut-out fuse and distribution board made of 100% heavy-duty copper.
Oh, come, I get them. See, I'm here.
No, now I'm looking for Slatter Star J cut-out fuse and distribution board, Nipo cut-out fuse, Star J solar battery, inverter, MPPT controller, and solar panel.
But Oga,
Don't worry, I know where to get them. Whether na Star J changeover cut-out fuse, Slatter distribution board, Nipo cut-out fuse, Star J solar battery, inverter, MPPT controller, and solar panel, Star J ceiling fan, sockets, all earthen materials. Make you no go do cover-wise pan foolish o. Slatter Star J Indian product na #1 since 1961. Made of 100% heavy-duty solid copper with no compromise. Available in all leading electrical shops nationwide. Slatter Star J, na you Pico.
We're glad you're still there and listening to Voice of the People 90.3 FM. It's Front Page Review. That's what we're doing right now. What are the stories that made it to the front pages of our national dailies? What are the stories that concern you this morning? We've read out a lot of stories, and we are hoping that you're going to call us and also bear your minds on some of these headlines. The numbers to call are 0700 903 903 903, 0700 903 903 903, or 081 7175 6338. That is if you prefer WhatsApp call or message. 081 7175 6338. Those are the numbers to reach us on. We're still here with Dr. Peter Anosike, who was telling us how democracy turned to tyranny and all that.
Tyranny of the few, because we're not. Yeah. So it's about how to make a democracy work. Those that participated in the struggle, and right now we just have few copies of the book.
Okay.
We just have few copies, and those who need it should come to VUP office at number 42. Murtala Mohammed International Airport Road. Those who want the book should come to VOP office at number 42 Mortana Mohammed International Airport Road, just opposite Ajawo Gate. They can get all the book there.
Okay, so the lines are open now. Call us now and talk to us. Hello, good morning. Good morning. So don't do testing of the microphone. The lines are very authentic. 0700 903 903 903. Okay, let's take this one from WhatsApp. Hello?
Hello, good morning, sir.
Good morning. What's your name and where are you calling from?
My name is Truda, calling from the.
Okay, thanks for joining
I
us.
greet you, analyst.
Yeah, he can hear you.
Why is a big discount over? Get people with this and get yourself this country. My own concern is saying insecurity don't laugh. How many years we been now? When we collect independence, we see the battle with insecurity. Boko Haram, Black Corawal, terrorists, all this thing. Why the Nigerian never want to clear? That's my own question. And again, for our jet, we say that they sit. May we see the country we find ourselves now. Which country where people don't do that except Nigeria? They can do nothing for this country get out of it. Even for Burkina Faso, see a whole Africa or no, nothing they do me. If I dey hear that news, you go joy be like say, is it a giant of Africa this everywhere? Why we find ourselves to this matter? I'm so disappointed in this present.
Okay.
God bless you.
Amen. Thank you very much. Yeah. Giant of Africa. The plane has been seized.
That was before. That was before.
Okay. Good morning.
Hello, Yango. Good morning.
Good morning to you, sir. What's the name and where?
Good morning.
Good morning.
Yeah, this is Mike from a summer area of Lagos.
All right. Go on.
Honestly speaking, it's high time Igbos should start to learn their lessons. As for marginalization, Igbos are highly being marginalized. Imagine among the only 5 states we had in the service, only one ministerial position, only one. And that's a devil Mike, stomach infrastructure. Speaking against his people indirectly is uncalled for. Igbos, it's high time we start to re-strategizing by moving some of their outskirts to the southeast. Forget the properties you have in Lagos. It doesn't mean it's just buildings. You can move your capital, move your capital to the southeast. Develop your place. It's just that the mistake has been made. The way we left our place after the Civil War with the spirit of one Nigeria, believing that Nigeria is truly one. That is why Igbos left their place and went to every part of this nation and start putting development in those areas. There's no development state in this Nigeria. You cannot find the moment contribute about 40-50% to the development of the area. It's so disheartening.
Yeah.
And that is by the way. As for Nigeria claiming to be giant of Africa, Nigeria has already been described as a disgraced nation. A nation with particular concern. It's so shame. I will just carry Nigerian passport to just Republic of Benin. I travel around and see how they will be looking at it. The moment they see Nigeria, they will be looking at us as people that don't have sense, people that cannot manage their resources properly. And you'll be interested in going to other countries and say a big peace to other countries. It's a shame. When the head is rotten, you should be expecting nothing from the bottom. May God bless us all in Jesus' name.
Amen. I just wish that when we call, when we're talking about whatever is happening, marginalization on all, we should be proffering solution and not preaching.
I've told you reconciliation.
Yes.
Nigeria need to accept Igbos as the same thing.
Yes. I
One
was talking
citizen.
to the caller who was saying Igbos should begin to get out, this and that. We should look for solutions until I'm not sure it has gotten to the point where we should be preaching division at this point. But
He was not preaching the division. Yeah. There's nothing wrong with you having your headquarters in Onitsha and the branch in Lagos. There's nothing wrong in having the headquarters of your business in Aba, then a branch in Kanu. So that's what he's saying. Okay. Think home should be the philosophy of Igbo people.
Okay. I'm glad for that explanation. Okay. Hello. Good morning. Good morning to you. Okay, we lost that call. Let's take another one from the regular call. Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Yes, your name, please?
Thank you very much. I greet your analyst. My name is Malam Bello Usman. I am calling you from Sabon Gerikano.
Oh, glad that you could join us this morning.
Thank you. Alhamdulillah, fine.
Go
See,
ahead.
please let me ask your analyst question. If a vulture come to take and come down to take chicken and it will not be able to carry the chicken, what will the chicken do to that vulture? That vulture, I think that vulture will become the most useless other bird that's supposed to take that chicken, because Nigeria call itself as the giant of Africa. And giant of Africa, as far as I'm concerned, Nigeria is just a giant of Africa for nothing. Do you know why I say for nothing? Even in Nigeria here, Nigeria is not even a giant of Nigeria because of the bad leaders. Yes, because of the bad leaders. Like your analyst described the democracy before. That democracy is the government of the people, by the people and for the people. But in Nigeria, is the democracy is the government of the people. It's not a government of the people. It's the government of politicians, by the politician for the politician alone. But very soon, I am sure, very very soon, inshallah, time will come that all of these people call themselves leaders. I don't have leaders in this country. I don't care if Nigeria don't even have president. I don't care if my state don't have state government. I don't care, because I don't know their importance. I don't know the importance of presidents in this country. I don't know the importance of the governor, even House of Senators. I don't know their importance. I don't have any business with them. But I am sure, inshallah, time will come soon that all of them will pay for all this nonsense they are doing. Thank you very much. And God bless
you. Very much. Thank you. I always like the way you talk, Malam. And I hope all Nigerians will have the same mind to say their mind and to hope for a better Nigeria. I wonder, he said the government is now for politicians. I'm not even sure it's for all politicians. Some people are politicians, they are not even seeing.
For the few. For the very few.
Very few, yeah. I believe that. Hello, good morning.
Morning. Yeah, good morning.
Please, your radio, turn it down.
Good morning. I greet the analyst.
Yeah.
Dr. Nosike. My name is Obina, calling from Ejigbo.
Okay, Obina, go ahead.
Inyangu,
yes,
when Dr. Nosike was analyzing about marginalization of the Igbos, have you ever heard any language that Igbo man cannot rule this country? Have you heard that language before? They said it, Igbo man cannot rule this country. They're during the Buhari era, the Security Council, no Igbo man was there. You will not understand how the Igbo people feel, how they marginalize us. That's the reason why Nnamdi Kanu did not wake up one day and talking about Biafra. He gives 5 conditions what they will do in Igbo land. Let there be peace. They refuse. One of them is let be an international airport, good international airport, a seaport. Nnamdi Kanu did not wake up one day, continue talking about Biafra. It's all these things we are seeing. If I can tell it to the extent it have generated into the masses in front of me in my shop at Ejigbo. A man was turning his vehicle and push a POS signpost. So when he moved the car, the 2 Yoruba men pursue him, knocking at the door. When the man stopped and opened the door, they think that it is an Igbo man because of the type of car he carry. When they see that it is Yoruba man, they say, Mabini, I think it's an Igbo man. I think it's an Igbo man. That is how they left. Is it hard to be one in the country? That is absolutely not. They are treating us so bad. Thank you very much.
Thank you. I think part of the things that we need is orientation and so many other things. Because the people, for instance, that were running after this car may not be the elite, but they are the people down here that do not even know the essence of being one.
It's the mindset.
Yes.
It is the mindset.
So to cure the mindset, I think we need a fundamental reinvention of our mindset and orientation for our people. Okay, well, We're still open 0700 903 903 903 for the regular calls, and for WhatsApp is 081 71756338. Call us now and tell us what your thoughts are about the headlines. Good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning to you, sir.
Dr. Anosike, good morning.
Good morning.
Please, I want to ask, where is Ikame Jude?
Ikame Jude is plying his trade somewhere else. He's no longer with us.
Hey, why now? This guy don't tell me say one come out now, and we get business together.
You can still come to VOP. You can still come to VOP, and then we can connect you to him. You can do your business together.
No problem. I will do that.
All right.
I will do that. Yeah, for my own contribution, you see,
go on.
This APC government it was built on propaganda and lies. They are the most lying ethics I have ever encountered in this world. When they tell you that this thing is white, go very close and verify. You will discover that thing is black. A president will open his mouth and say there is no genocide, there is no Christian genocide in Nigeria. And I believe it's Ananoka that's giving him the information because he said last time that he doesn't watch what do they call it, social media, because of his health. That he don't know what is happening in social media. So how then did we know there is no Christian genocide in Nigeria? Maybe it's the information they pass to him and he opens his mouth and says, why he has not looked anywhere to see what is happening? To see how they are slaughtering human beings, cutting off the human being's head like chicken. And somebody will be sitting at his comfort zone saying there is no Christian genocide there. It is a shame that light has become the order of the day. Propaganda has become the order of the day in this particular regime administration. Honestly, if 2027 Nigerians did not do anything, they did not do everything possible to remove these people, I am telling you, we are doomed for life. Thank you.
Thank you for your thoughts this morning. Call us on 0700 903 903 903. Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning to you, sir.
Yeah, I want to greet especially my mentor, Peter Anosike. I'm calling from Aradagu Badagry. My name is James Agassi. Actually, I'm always learning whenever he's in studio, and even if I'm doing anything, I will come to listen to him, and I must learn something from him. He's a great man for me. I want to say something about, yes, really, we are Igbos in Nigeria. We are stranger in Nigeria, come to do our business. That's what I learned from him, and I quite agree from him. Do you know, my brother, if they are doing riot here in Nigeria today, wherever, in any place, if a riot is happening, whether it's a Ghana will be there, they will not destroy anything from Ghana people. They will not destroy Togo people something. They will not destroy even Benenoa. Any stranger, any foreign people that in Nigeria, they will pursue anywhere Igbo man has a shop to destroy their shop and burn their shop. And even killing them. Any place in Nigeria, you say we should stop discriminating. We shall be preaching peace. Peace for how long? How long are we in Nigeria? How long did the Nigerian Biafran war ended? Where is the result today, up to today? You say we shall be preaching peace for how long? How long are we going to be preaching peace? To be in Nigeria, and Nigeria will not accept an Igbo man. You say we shall be preaching peace. Peace for how long? Day by day, the thing is multiplying from generation to generation. It's going from their children to their great children. Even a small girl of 2 years today, we see you here in Lagos, I say Omibo. If you go to the north, you say Inyameni. And Igbo man will even collect everybody as one, building their houses every part of Nigeria, developing any part of Nigeria, having themselves as a Nigerian, but Nigerians will not accept them. He said we shall be preaching peace. How long are we going to stay to be fooling to be a Nigerian? We accept to be a Nigerian, but Nigeria don't accept us. I don't want to talk much because When I start talking, I'll be crying. God bless you and bless all the people in the studio. Bye bye.
God bless you too. I could hear the emotions in his voice. I could hear the passion with which he was talking. I can relate because if all of us are Omoibo, in fact, me, I'm Omoibo, even though I can't even speak one word from there. I'm Omoibo and all that. That's why I was saying the orientation needs to be more aggressive.
Well, when I was in Ibadan, one day, one guy that's from Oyo State there called me, Peter, come and see your brother. Peter, come and see that. So I came out, I saw him, I said, excuse me, what's your name? He said, my name is Etimbasi.
Okay.
so a cross river guy from Ugep.
Yeah.
That's what that Yoruba guy was saying. He's my brother. I said, well, he's my brother.
Yeah.
Because we crossed the river Niger before getting to our various states. So he's my brother.
All of us are brothers, yeah. So, well, it shouldn't be a curse to be called Omoibo. It shouldn't be a curse to come from a particular geographical location.
From the mind where that Omoibo is coming from, it's not a happy mind. Understand me? So there's nothing wrong being called an Igbo man. If there's reincarnation, I'll still want to be an Igbo man. So there's no shame being called an Igbo man. But the person that's calling you an Igbo man is calling you, Omoibo is calling you based on hatred, not love.
Based on the things he has been told, not what the facts that he knows.
Sure,
that's the problem that I'm talking about. Some of these people don't even know anything about the Igbo person, about any other ethnic group in Nigeria, but they have been told.
That's what the last speaker said. The information is passing from the father to the children to the grandchildren. Understand? These people are not one of you. These people are not one of you. Be careful of them. Just like the Palestinians and the Israelites. An Israeli that is born today will see a Palestinian as an enemy, even though the Palestinians have not done him anything. But what he has been told, that's what is happening in Nigeria.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning. Hello, good morning.
Good morning. Good morning to you.
Yeah, this is Mr. David calling from Egbeda.
Go right ahead, Mr. David.
I want to support what the analysis is showing there concerning the marginalization of an Igbo man. I noticed the Civil War. Though I was a young boy that was about 14 to 15 years. When I finished my school,
oh no. Okay, please, you might just want to call us back. The call dropped and we don't know why that happened. Hello, good morning.
Yeah, good morning.
Morning to you.
Please, thank you very sorry. Let me correct this. My name is Malam Bello. I am calling you from Savongeri again.
Yeah.
See, there is one of the brother that called as if he wants to cry because of the way Nigerians are treating Igbo people. To be honest with you, I am in New Zealand. I am from the northern part of the country. I'm from Kano here. So many of my friends here are Igbo people, and they are doing their business legitimately in Savongeri. I don't know if you are conversant with maybe Savongeri here.
Yeah.
So most of them are doing their business. We are just like a brothers and sisters. The only place I see the difference between Nigerian and Igbo is whenever I go to Lagos, I see people are calling, like particularly like Yoruba people call Igbo people Omoibo with different mind, like analysis. But as far as I am concerned, we are all brothers. But the most important thing is that even if you look sometimes, they call us Aboki.
Yeah.
When somebody call you go to Lagos, somebody call you Aboki, it means maybe you are Mumu or something like that, but we are not Mumu. We leave some things for God and we let go of some things. If not, if you are talking of violence, some of our people know how to stand for the violence. If you are talking of anything, if you are talking of poverty, some northern, or if you are talking of rich, the most richest person in this country are also from the north. So that brother should not care about whatsoever that Nigerians are or some few, so because I can say that some few regions of this country are calling them You are proud of Igbo. I am also proud in Igbo as a friend because they are good people and they are accommodating. I went to Imbano in Imo State. I know how I was treated as an outsider from the north in Imo State. So what are we talking about? So that brother should just bear every good thing in mind that one day things will change from these bad people. Thank you very much. And God bless.
That's why I was calling for that aggressive campaign against this kind of things, because if the government keeps quiet, because these things are happening, they are happening. People are making comments that they should not make, and if the instrument of education, instrument of propaganda, instrument of enlightenment are in the hands of the government, let them use it effectively. Because like after the Civil War, the government made it a point. In so many cases, they were going from village to village playing cinema and showing us the bad side of war, so that kind of a thing will not happen again. In my place, it was happening. So they were coming with projectors and showing us movies about wars and how bad the war was. And when we were still small, but it was in our minds, we were forming that in our minds, telling ourselves that I must not be a part of this kind of a thing that destroys lives and properties in this way. So that should be this kind of aggressiveness they should put into the orientation that will make Nigerians talk better, behave better with their fellow men. Because not all Muslims are bad, but we have Boko Haram, like Malam said. Not all Igbos, not all Yorubas may be the ones that are having this hatred and all that. So we should make it a point.
That's everywhere in the world. There are good people, there are bad people.
Bad people,
everywhere in the world.
Yes.
There are good people, there are bad people. We have National Orientation Agency, which government deliberately is not funding.
That's what I'm saying.
Understand me? So deliberately, if you go to National Orientation Agency in Ikeja, it's like it's dead. Nothing is happening there. No even chairs. So government deliberately are not funding the National Orientation Agency so that their own media people will now be giving us a disinformation, misinformation. Imagine when the government last week said that the 11 soldiers had been released. Today, they are telling you that they have not been released. The same people.
Same people. Well, this is how much we can go with you, Doctor. It's time to go pay some bills again. And after that, we are going to be joined by the Igbo. It will be, I like to call it Ogendigbo. It will be time for the Igbo people to also come and do a review of the papers. I'd like you to have a final word as we wrap up this segment.
Just like what Igbos are not asking for preferential treatment in Nigeria. What you want to just accept us, treat us as you are treating the people from the other parts of the country. Period.
All right. Thank you very much. Like I said, we'll be back at 10:30. Right now, we'll give way for some commercials, and after that, the Igbo version of the front page review will come up, and then 10:30, be sure to join us. We'll take your calls and read all your WhatsApp messages. Stay with us.
Well done, my original people. How una day? My prayer be